Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, LGBTQIA, alphabet community, everyone else, we're back. Another edition of the Rival Show. I'm trying to be inclusive. I'm just trying to include everyone.
That's what we're about.
That's what we're about. I'm Mr. MJ. Wait, what?
The type of show we're running there for everyone. Right. For the people.
I'm Mr. MJ, the Swerve, Swerveless, whatever you want to use. The man on my left.
Modern vampires of the city, anti-blood, blood. Yeah. One blood. Yes, it's me, the legendary Slick Man. Zoop.
Recluse.
Bombare.
What the fuck?
Oh, and on my left.
Hi, my name's Queen P, or Iffy, as you want to call me, whatever, I don't mind.
From, I guess, the sister show of the Rival Show, the free PMS. What's the name of your show?
Ladies, free PMS ladies.
Free PMS. Any of you chicks on the Reds out there, and whatever, tune in.
Thanks.
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, on her left.
Picture the scene. You're hot.
He's back.
Sweat-filled bodies are pressing against each other. You can feel the heat from each other and from the atmosphere around you. You're fighting the tension and frustration that's been created, but you're also trying to keep quiet because you don't want to make too much noise or surrender to the temptation to scream or shout. Yes, this is how it feels to travel on the London Underground during rush hour. You're listening to the subtle undertones of Mr. H, aka Buju Banter.
Bruv, you know that sounds like, like when you watch them films and someone's seducing a woman. No judgment here tonight. A woman like you should be cherished.
Don't fight it.
Don't use that line. Do not use that line.
Hashtag me too. Come on, man.
Come on. We're not even going to do
Let it happen, baby.
Just let it happen. It's inevitable. Let it happen.
That's what you want.
Moving forward, we're going to start. It doesn't bode well. It doesn't bode well. It's the news. So in the last week, the President's Men's Charity Ball was held. For those of you who don't know, it's a charity event held with powerful men, executives, businessmen, managing directors, MDs, celebrities also, and also politicians were there. And it's basically an event held to raise money for charities such as Great Ormond Street, which have benefited over the years. And the furore and the reason why it's in the news is because at these events, they're men-only events, and the way that the women who work there, so basically they asked for 150 women for the 300 plus men there. The women are who are working are asked to attend wearing little black skirts, stockings, that kind of thing, high heels, little black dress type look. And basically they're there to wait on the men. However, the behaviour of some of the men was inappropriate to say the least. Hands up skirts, getting their penises out. What was there? Oh, telling the woman she's not drunk enough, so have this drink, rip your knickers off and dance on the table. That was the kind of thing they were saying to the women, basically, which is why they were like, listen, this event is unacceptable. So, the reason why we're talking about it, on the obvious news effect, is people have gone a bit too far in the sense of they're saying that all men charity events, for instance, should be banned. They shouldn't hold them anymore. And there was a call for one of the politicians who attended that he should resign because he attended. Although he attended, didn't like what he saw and went home. So that's what we're talking about. And I know one man who wants to get straight on this, the Slick Man. What are you saying?
What's all this fuss, man? What is all of this? Wahala, as the Eurobros were saying. What is all of this? Listen, people, please, compose yourselves. Temper your insanity. We live in an age of outrage at the moment, where people I've said this every week, people are looking for the next thing to jump on. Mm-hmm. Me too, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Do not get me wrong here. right? I am an advocate for justice. I'm an advocate for if someone's done something wrong, someone's been mistreated, they should be taught and held to account for their misdeeds. However, let's look at what happened at this event. Slimebag old rich men were being sexually inappropriate to a group of women. Is it wrong? Yes. But to say that it should be, all of these events should be banned. I turned on TV the other day and I saw there's an advert for like, let me say my point first. I think there's a lot of double standards that go on, right, with these things. And here's what I'm going to back it up with. This is not me saying that the behaviour of these morons, right? It's what happens when you get rich, powerful men in the room. They just act like complete idiots. One of the richest and most powerful men in the world is Donald Trump, and he's not even in a room with a bunch of women, and you can see what he gets up to, right? Do you know what I mean? So, people have taken into account the mob factor, the mob mentality. Mm-hmm. Everyone gets spurred on by others, and shall I tell you why I'm using this to back myself up? Anybody who's been in a room with a group of women when a couple of good-looking men come in the room, how do they behave? Worse than men. What was that thing we had on the Rival show the other day? Chocolate City. Mm-hmm. So you got a whole bunch of women and a few strippers.
Whoa, stop.
No, hold on. No, hear me out first. Okay, go on. Hear me out first.
Go on.
Right, because it's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The pack mentality takes over.
Yeah.
Right? Men go strip clubs all the time and see sexy women. You don't see men leaving on stretchers in neck braces and stuff like that because. but then you go Chocolate City. There's a few men are shaking their bum cheeks. And
they're not just shaking their bum cheeks though.
No, but I'm just and their things. I'm seeing women are going for MRI scans in the morning off the back of that. Okay. What is going on?
What I'm saying is, I understand the mob mentality.
It's got to be
No, I understand the mob mentality. But if you're a stripper who dangles your penis in a woman's face,
of course, agreed.
Right, that's not the same as you're a waitress.
Yeah,
yep.
Agreed.
A hostess and a waitress are not the same.
I 100% agree. What I'm trying to say is that people need to take into account the pack mentality. Forget about whether it's men and women. Well, I'm telling you now for a fact, women are a lot worse than men in them scenarios, right? For example, I went to a cancer survivors charity event, right? A room full of 200 women, right? There was about 10 men, including myself and a couple of dudes who came as guests, right? Myself and the dudes who came as guests came late, so everybody was already seated. When we walked into the room, right, 200 women, there's all whistling. I was getting my bum pinched as I walked past, my bum slapped by different women. This is what was getting. I was a guest at the event. But because they all saw each other doing it, everyone felt galvanised. Yeah, let's have a feel of his bum as he walks past. Oh, you got a juicy bum. I'm not saying that what went on. I think what the things that went on at the President's Club dinner and things like that was slimebaggish. It was disgusting. It shouldn't happen, right? But if this was the other way round, would people be giving back donations? Would people be talking about people losing? What, so a guy should lose his job just because he attended the event?
Well, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's rubbish, to be honest with you. I don't think he should lose his job. I think, to be fair, these events have probably been going on for how long now?
Yeah.
And it's funny how with all this whole Me Too business going on, that now, apparently, now is a big issue. For this event, this agency was hired these specific girls to dress in a certain way and I guess to behave in a certain way. Maybe not all of them were, maybe not all of them knew that that's exactly what was going to happen there, but they didn't have to stay there. They could have left, but I guarantee you, this sort of thing has happened before. Never been put in the press. Never been put in the press.
What happens every year? It's been going on for 33 years, I think it is.
The current climate.
Nah, it's a problem. I'm not trying to condone the way the men were behaving or whatever, but you don't like it, leave. Like I saw a morning show, one of the hostesses, she was like, she was in disguise. She was talking about like the event
that's
and
the
what she was
reporter.
after.
She's the one who exposed it, yeah.
Yeah, and she was sitting there saying that her boss was telling her, come on, you're not mingling with the guys. I'm like, leave.
Yeah.
There's other jobs out there. Leave if you don't like it. But I don't think people should now lose their jobs. Obviously, these guys are going there because they're used to this kind of thing. I don't think it's okay, Vic. I don't think it's the same as this whole Chocolate City business. Like when you started that, I wanted to throw my wig off and throw it in your face. But you know, I get that women are like that, but they're going to a strip club. They know exactly. The guys know exactly what the women are going to do. They know they're going to get excited, and they're getting paid for that.
Yeah.
You're going there as a hostess. You're not getting paid to get felt up. And if that's the case, my friend, leave, man. No one's forcing you.
Yeah, totally agree. For me, like you said, you summed up most of it already. These sort of things have been going on for years. I always wonder when you have these sort of agencies of you bring women to wear these particular clothing, etc. So what are you inviting? I'm not saying it's right to touch. I mean, you shouldn't be touching any woman in that sort of circumstance anyway. But why have them dressed like that anyway? And like you said as well, it's case of if you don't like the gentleman you said you're saying should resign. He's come. He's obviously not expecting that. He didn't like what he saw. He left the premises. So why should he lose his job? I don't understand. If he stayed and participated, then I'd understand. He's left.
Yeah.
So what else can he do? He can't shut the place down. He's removed himself from the issue. I think he's done his part. In terms of the people working there, again, I don't know their circumstances in terms of how they get their income, etc. But
Well, most of them are like students.
yeah, so I said I don't know their predicaments, etc. But to say let's close the whole event down, I wouldn't say that. I say let's review it. Let's see what the problems are. I mean, like Victor said, you put a group of men or women in a mob-like mentality, filling with alcohol, put sexually, scantily clad women in front of them, etc. As humans, you're going to react. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's right. Don't condone it. If I was in that situation, I wouldn't do that. I'm not that way inclined. I can't see myself groping a woman like that in that circumstance. But
So, yeah, not in that circumstance.
Hey, I'm dead.
Well, we just met and you know me so well. Thank you. As I say, not in that circumstance. If I was in a private situation, one-to-one is completely different. In a public situation with many women, aka witnesses, I don't do that. Okay? So, as I was saying, I would not do that. So, the guys that done this, trust me, you're nothing but scum.
Yep, 100%.
And it's unfortunate when you get those situations with money, power, people think they can make their own laws, etc. There's probably a little remorse from these guys. And as mentioned before, they've probably done it many times.
They had the solicitors out early doors.
Yep.
Right? And if it wasn't for the fact of the reporter and people coming to report our Twitter going mad, blah, 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 it would have been a nothingness. So the thing is, the women had their own event, which is identical event. Men in the buff or whatever it is, topless, whatever it is, but they weren't being grabbed up by the women that we know.
How do we know?
Because there was reporters there. So that's how we know. So they would say it's not, because you have to remember when a
told me that
woman
about 10 minutes ago before I made my point. Like,
well, read the
so-
agenda. When women of power, with power, they don't tend to want to go around grabbing up people.
No, you know what they want to. You know what they want to do? Make the men who work underneath them make their lives hell. That's basically that's where they get their
How the hell do you
their
know?
fun from. Well, I worked in Topshop when I was 18, right? And my floor manager was a
Man
woman.
said he went to Topshop.
Back in
Let's
1984.
move on.
Just to say, like, yeah, just to put bomb. Like, look, the men who do these things, they're obviously like they're just there's something missing in their lives.
Wasn't
Like-
in those environments there are also women who are hired. There are also women who are escorts.
Yep.
So there are also women there who are there for that. There are also women that are looking to meet sugar daddies, which isn't denied.
Yeah.
This is all discussed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have to identify, as in any scenario,
you can't do it
talk
to
to,
everyone, man. Come
on.
have
Yeah.
a conversation,
Yeah.
identify. You're a
Yeah.
fucking MD, a
Yeah.
chief exec. You're a man of acumen. You know what goes on in the world.
Pack mentality.
But for me, the other thing is like an oxymoron. You're saying you've got rich men, scantily clad women, alcohol pouring. It's a charity event.
yeah, exactly.
The two don't go for me.
Yeah.
What are you doing to what charity? Whatever the charity is, would they want to be associated with something like that? That's what I don't understand. You got you sponsored walks, you do marathons, whatever. Charity. what we got? You know what I mean? No, we got some scantily clad women and we're going to grope them for charity. It doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense. So
Disgusting.
that's why I say it needs to be reviewed. And final point as well. Female events, like you said, there'd be a guy scantily clad, and the thing I'd say with women, they're smarter at it.
Yeah.
They're smarter at it.
True.
Not saying they, they're holier than thou and
Yeah,
all
they're
that.
slime bags as well.
Of
Yeah,
course,
I'm
I
one of
mean,
them.
but they're probably smarter at it. That event where it's happened, and you said that it wasn't. There was reporters there. tutus, could be female reporters. They kept it to themselves. We don't hear it.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out.
Yeah.
We don't know. I'm not saying.
That's
but
not
it's-
the big story.
I'm not saying, you know what I mean, what the guy's done is okay. No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as guys, sometimes we act like Neanderthals. A bit of alcohol, we just fucking lose our senses and can't control
Yeah.
ourselves. So we look like idiots. But women probably know how to condone themselves a bit better, more smarter about it,
Yeah.
do it a bit more, you know,
Discreet.
discreet.
Well, I
etc.
mean, that's the point, because if you go to, as I said, if you have the events whereby they go and get these men, they're really good looking men, then the mentality does change. If you go to a bar, and I've seen women when you go to a bar, and there's a good looking barman, some of the behaviour,
Yeah.
if he comes
That's
up behind
the point I
that
was
glass, or like
making.
you go to a pub, he comes up behind that counter, all of a
Yep.
sudden his bum gets slapped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why is it okay?
That's
Exactly.
that was the point I was making.
No, but I'm saying, obviously, what we're saying is there's levels to everything,
Yeah.
and neither is acceptable.
Exactly.
But one is considered
Definitely.
to be less of an issue.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I think some of the women need to take responsibility. If I'm about to do a job as a hostess or whatever, and I see the dress code and my panties have to match, then I'm going to be asking questions. What kind of an event is this?
Yeah.
Like you know, I recently had an operation. Then they told me to remove my knickers. You're not doing anything up there, so why do I need to remove my knickers? I'm going to start asking questions.
yeah,
Why do my panties have to match? That's got nothing to do with the job description. But I'd ask. So you know, you can't just assume, black panties. Oh yeah, it's okay.
But
No,
I'd say,
you have to
I'd say
take
the same
some
for the guys as
responsibility.
well. Then the guys attending the event, they have to have responsibility as well.
Yeah.
Like you said, they know who they are. It's for a charity event. You
Yeah.
go there. All right, you see a couple of guys doing it, so what? You have to do it as well. It's like,
Exactly.
for me, as I said, it doesn't match up. And as I said, I'm glad I wasn't there. I'm not part of that sort of circles. But yeah, it's sickening to hear, because, like I said, now it's casting a shadow over other guys who don't do that shit.
Yeah.
And so other events happen now. People start getting on edge, and it's the whole domino effect now that you can't talk or touch anybody, and it's seen as an inappropriate. It's
Yeah.
just
It's just like, before Merv moves on, it's like, just on that point with the guy who they're asking for him to lose his job. What I don't like about these things when these outrages happen is the way that the movement just goes for everybody.
yeah.
Everybody gets caught up in with
Yeah.
the same brush.
Yeah.
So you might as well have pulled his willy out.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You might as well have.
Because yeah, if he's damned if you do, he's
Yeah.
damned if you don't.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll roll on to our second story. Anne McPart, was it?
And McPartland.
Yeah, Anne McPartland. That's what I've got. I thought it was
PJ
wrong.
and Duncan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in
Ant and Dec. Ant from Ant and Dec. Anne McPartland.
The tall one out of the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, what? By the size of his forehead. What?
Yeah. Meathead.
Anne McPartland's wife is rumoured to be advised to aim to get a payout, which includes future earnings. So he's worth about 60 million allegedly. And what they're saying is that she has a good legal team. And what her legal team is saying, look, let's not just take half. Let's take up to, was it a third of future earnings for the next X amount of
That's
years.
not fair.
And obviously we've seen it before with the Ray Parlour story, for those people who know, similar situation. Former Arsenal player, I think he played for England a couple of times,
Yeah.
but former Arsenal player, he divorced from his wife. She had 2 houses worth over £1 million which were mortgage free, couple of cars, Ferrari, blah blah blah, 250 grand cash plus a percentage of his future earnings.
Wow.
And I remember at the time
She left him.
yeah, and she left him. And I remember at the time, Twitter went fucking mental, and it wasn't even about Twitter in them days there, but the internet was going mad. You know, forums, just everything was going mad.
It's not
going,
on.
What the fuck is this? So,
not on.
although this hasn't happened yet, it has happened previously. It's happened in other cases less famous. But I don't know how many people can agree with you separating from someone and still receiving part of their future earnings, especially in a situation where the person's got 60 million and is probably happy, from what I'm understanding, to give you your half, and let's go a 30 million pound. I don't want to be disrespectful to her.
What are you
career.
bringing to the
No, that's
table,
what I say.
love?
I don't disrespect to her career, but you are a makeup artist.
Yeah.
30 million pounds. Iffy, I want to hear you on this one first.
It's a bit sexist,
Well, look.
What?
What? That remark was a bit sexist.
Is he alright?
Why has he flashed straight across to the woman?
You know, shut up.
Let's get a woman's perspective on this.
Because you went first last
you know,
time.
you want a woman's perspective. Vic, you should go then.
Hey,
And I had your fucking back. It's because of you that I voted for fucking UKIP last time. Go back to where you came from.
Did they know you're related? Have we said that?
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, this is my sister.
Boy.
Okay.
Allegedly.
I think lawyers are greedy. We know that.
Yep.
Dad was a lawyer. Obviously, the more she gets, well, the more they're going to get out of her. So, from what I've read, she's kept completely silent. I don't think she's not the one who wants the divorce, from what I've read. So, hey, she's been advised they're just doing their job. But I don't agree with it at all. I think once someone separates, that's it. They shouldn't be entitled to anyone's future earnings. Go and make your own fucking money. I mean, you're not disabled. You can go out there and work.
So even if you are disabled, you can go out and make money as well.
You know what I mean?
But if someone gives you 30 million, it doesn't matter whether you're fully abled, disabled. It doesn't matter what it is. 30 million. That's the potential you would leave with. Someone gives me 5 million now, I am gassed. That's it. I'm sorted. Let alone 30 mil.
Yeah.
Sorry if to cut you up. Go on, continue.
Nah, but I don't think that's right. And if I were him and that happened, I'd have to kill her. No one's getting none of my money. We both.
Wow.
Well, no, you're not getting my money.
Wow.
Sorry.
Say what you feel, man. Don't hold back. Yeah, I mean, I don't get how that works. I'm not a lawyer. But, yeah, you're agreeing to part ways, go your separate lives, but yet what I do in the future, you want to part. So basically, if you stay together, it'll save me money. That's what you're saying. if we stay together,
For real.
this money stays in my back pocket. But if we split, I'm paying you to live your life without me.
Yeah.
That's what this means, basically. So I'm going to sit down with a lawyer. The lawyer will be chatting. I'll be like, hold on a second. So sum this up. We don't love each other no more. We're moving on. I'm paying for you to stop loving me. That's what this means, basically.
Basically. In
I
essence.
don't understand this at all. So I'd love to hear from her to see where she's coming from, because it says like, basically, yeah, she's, from what I've read, he wants to divorce. She's not accepting it well. Well, if she's getting 30 million, I don't know how else you can accept it. Because, you know what I mean? I don't want to be with you anymore. But honey, I think we could work. You're going to get 30 million. You know what? I think the divorce is the right thing to do. Clearly, we're not made for each other. We should. You know what? The money's going to help. You know what? Let's just go our separate ways. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So if I was him, I'd be thinking, you know what? This is long. Let me go, 2-2s, little candlelight dinner. Let's have a little chat about it. So, B&B, B&B. It's like, it was a heat of the moment,
Oh, yeah, man.
Exactly, we're here, man. Baker Grove, man. But, no, I mean, I don't get it. Like you said, it's happened to Ray Parler, and that was absolutely atrocious what happened to him. But
He just retired.
yeah,
Bad
Yeah,
man.
pretty much. He was like,
Bad man.
there will be no future earnings.
Coming to you for peas in
You
future.
get me?
coming to training. You're right, Ray. You know what? I don't need
fancy
this.
this.
Exactly. I don't fancy this. But no, I don't agree with it at all. But either way, she's going to get some sort of settlement out of it, innit? Basically.
Basically, yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm not saying she's not entitled to something because they've been together for like some mad 18.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming her.
So, well, I'm saying, yeah, it's the legal team obviously
Yeah.
behind
How much do you reckon she should be entitled to out of that 60 million?
Out of the 60 million. The law said you're entitled to half, innit?
Not, just...
Wow,
Listen,
that's a lot.
we ain't
That's
fucking
the
getting
law.
half from me.
You ain't got a choice.
No. Let me tell you something. I've got plenty of choices. I've got mad choices. I've got many choices in this instance, right? One, I could choose to let her live or not, as my sister already said. That's how you know we're family. We know this. You think you're taking mud peas and you're what? Live to chat about this to next man? You crazy? Right? Second of all, I can move it to the bank of Ajego there. Try and contact them to get your 30 mil. What? 230 billion naira? For what? You're like, no, I'm sorry, right? I'm not having it. And let's get to the real crux of the matter here. And see, from the time he stopped being PJ or Duncan, from Biker Grove, that toilet of a show.
Oh, yeah, man.
How are man?
Spuggy. You're sick, man.
Exactly. How much is Spuggy entitled to then? What's she getting out of this? Spuggy?
You're sick, man.
You know what I mean? What's she getting out of this? Nothing, right? I'm tired of this shit here with these divorces. When Mel B left Jimmy Golza and she had 30 million, how much did he get? 700 bags. 700 bags he got from her 30 million back then when they split up. Yeah.
He was getting alimony and all sorts from that.
Are you sure, fella?
Google it. You know I don't know what I'm talking about. Man. but still, it's not promotion.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm just pissed. Let's be real about this. And he ain't David Gandhi. Let's be honest, right? He ain't no male model. He ain't no Bradley Cooper. He's got nothing about him apart from he's somehow got into this. He's doing all right with this presenting thing. But still, having 60 million in the bank that he's garnered over this career entitles him to trade up now.
Wow.
He's done his time in the field with her. God damn it! Let him be happy now.
Oh man!
Isn't he entitled to some happiness? Go and get a ting from Towie or Geordie Shaw. Nah, they're all mingers on that show. Somebody who's hot. Who's a hot Geordie. One of Alan Shearer's daughters. Right?
Wow.
Keep it in house, innit?
Wow.
Legend from the sperm of Alan Shearer. Do you know what I mean? It's true.
I don't know what's
So
wrong with
he
you.
could just go and do it. He's got 60 mil in the bank. Give his wife, fine. If it was me, token. Listen, as a token of your support for these last 20 years, and it's a gesture, goodwill gesture. 5 mil. Because
Some people will take the 5 mil and be happy.
but that's a lot. What like because
I'm not saying it's not a lot.
If we broke up 18 years ago, how much would you have 30 million? I don't. These sort of divorce settlement payouts things.
But the thing
you
is,
shouldn't get half. I'm sorry.
It depends on the circumstance. For instance, in these cases, what they're saying is this geezer was regularly battling demons. She was the one that holding man together. She was the one backing him when he's losing his shit, contemplating suicide. She was there doing all of that. She was there backing him. So to turn around and go, here's this.
Yeah.
5 mil.
Well, you would.
I agree with Merv though, in terms of we're talking in terms of headline, what we're seeing, but we don't know what's going on. We don't know the ins and outs of the relationship. Like Merv said, he was going through a lot, drugs. You don't know the moral support, the mental support she was giving. Like I said, you don't know. So I'm only saying in terms of reading the headline, 30 mil, based on, okay, I'm leaving you, taking my, I might joke about it, but deep down, you don't know what's going on. So. I'm not saying he's the victim in this, what was his name, Declan.
He is if she gets 30 million.
No, but we don't know. I don't know. I said you don't
We're
know.
all fucking victims.
And in the day, you'll start to say, okay, then, so why didn't they sign a prenup? You know what I mean? You'll start
He's
to
from Newcastle. He can't even fucking spell his own name.
Jesus
You know what I mean?
Christ.
What? Man's not going to talk he's been battling demons like the geezer's a fucking star of Big Trouble in Little China. Battling demons. What are you talking about over here? Fuck's sake, man. Do you know what I mean? Well, he's had a hard day at the office. He has a drink. Fucking, what's happened to this country?
What are you talking about?
He was in rehab
What are you
there,
basically? You're saying what? Because he's rich and famous, he
Don't
doesn't
do it,
have
fella.
demons.
Don't do it.
Self-inflicted demons, then,
That's
man.
bullshit. We're
Don't
still
do
all
it.
human. You still have mental
Some
struggles
of
you
us
got to
are
deal with.
humans.
Clearly, only 3 of us are human in this room.
That's right. You know what I mean?
I'm looking at Satan's child ahead of me here.
I'm just saying. I don't think, like, when you read them things, Kobe Bryant's missus divorced him and took 190. Where are we going with this?
Look, the law says you're entitled to half.
It's wrong. You should
but it
not
doesn't
be,
matter. It's the law.
unless it's these ones where, like, you and your girlfriend set up a company and then the company blossomed, even though you're chief executive and she might be the vice president or chief operations, whatever, and then you break up. Yeah, 50-50. We started this shit together. But one man's talent should not be split in half because you're breaking up. This is what I've earned myself through me being me, and you have garnered. Don't you have my
but
back?
do we know what part she played in that though?
Well, unless she was a member of fucking Biker Grove, I'm not sure what.
But my point is, does it, like you said about starting a company?
Yeah.
So that's official in terms of But does it have to always be official in terms of she could have been there supporting him? She could have donated money. She could have supported him.
Support.
Even
How
when you
much?
go- when you
Put
talk-
price on support.
How much is
Not half.
How much is Conor McGregor worth now? Do you reckon?
Good 100 mil.
How much is his wife entitled to?
Whatever the hell she wants. because that's how they are, I guess, isn't it? And I don't know, perhaps at the spot, it's his talent, Merv. There's got to be, out of 100 million, 20 million, I'd say then. Yeah, she had his back. She had his back, 20 mil.
In what way? What way?
Basically, when he weren't making money, she was providing for him.
Yeah.
And then now his talent has come through, has taken him onto a next level.
Yeah, but
Right.
okay, so you're saying that she supported him in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do we know
Financially.
Yeah, but do we know in what way this girl supported? What's his name? Ant or Deck? I don't know which one he is. Ant.
Don't
Do we
know.
know? Do we know the full extent of how she?
We don't, but what I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
it's not enough to be, because without him, you don't get that 60. That's my point.
No, I
You can't
agree.
that's my point.
Yeah.
Give a nice healthy chunk, millions and millions. Take millions and millions,
But like Merv said-
not 50%.
But
That don't
that-
make no sense to me.
Yeah, but that's the law.
And it doesn't-
I agree with it. It's not right,
and
but
it
that's
doesn't
the law.
work both ways as well. I've seen it time and time again when people get divorced. The guys don't get that 50%.
No, they don't.
So what's going on?
But they don't
Good.
get that. They don't get that because
Wait. Why is it good?
Why is it good?
Because Women have to sacrifice a lot, especially when there's children involved.
This is why we
And
brought
I
her
don't-
here.
yeah, I'm sorry.
For this nonsensical view. Continue. Listen. If you have a situation where the woman is the one who's made peas, yeah?
Yeah.
Now you're the one who's worth 100 million.
Yeah.
You're the star.
Yeah.
If you've had kids, we'll deduct a little bit. If you haven't had kids, what's the difference?
Yeah. Britney Spears and Kevin Federline, when they split up, what did K-Fed get?
Yeah, but that's different.
But she was the... No, it's not.
You know why it's different?
Go on.
Because she negotiated and he accepted. These women don't negotiate. They go to court. The men we're talking about, you already know. They send us list and go, listen, 20 million. You think about that. What did you have before you met? What did you have? That's what... There's the difference.
Yeah.
It's not you, man, come to your door. What do you want, fam? Then you know what he's gonna say.
Exactly.
Listen, I'll see you in court. Get out of it. You know what you're gonna say. That's what
230 billion naira.
that's what I'm saying. The difference is
That's
these
50
guys,
kobo.
you see it, they're always out of court settlements. They don't get to court, but when they do, the chick knows what time it is. In the same way the dude does when it happens to him.
Yep.
But women often will have been in a relationship for X amount of years. And we don't know what kind of support it is when they come home and he's crying because actually he's an alcoholic. Actually, he's got this issue, that issue.
Yep.
She's the one who's picking him up. And if it weren't for her bad times, and these people tell you this sometimes themselves.
Yeah, trust
it
me.
wasn't for my first wife, I would have told. But I still sacked her off for a younger, better looking thing. But you know, my first wife, I have to credit her.
Yeah. Credit her, exactly. With 5 million.
Cha-ching!
We'll wait. This guy. We'll move on. I mean, I do agree with you. I do not think 50% is fair. But as that's the law, it should be the same for everyone.
Yes, it's
If
got to be
she gets
50 both ways, yeah.
The only thing that should be deducted if there's kids, there should be allowances made for the kids. Especially if she's the one who's going to have the kids all the time, then there should be allowances and deductions made from that.
Exactly.
That's fine. Their
Yeah,
future,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Their planning. But if she's got 50 million, and let's say they got 3 kids, she got 50 million, then he gets 10 million to go away, right? That's what it should be. In the same way, if it's the other way around, he's got 50 million. Let's say she takes the kids, then he gives her 10 million and the kids separate money.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I agree
and
with
vice versa. Let's say the man takes the kids.
Yeah.
Then, you know, whatever the circumstance. But to say that someone who does, and then there are circumstances. Okay, before we move on. Fucking, what was that bitch I hate with the one leg?
Oh, Stella.
McCartney.
Stella
McCartney.
Paul McCartney's ex-team.
Stella.
Yeah. No, not Stella. What was her name? Fucking hell.
You know what I'm talking
One
about.
leg.
One leg.
John,
Stella's
Long
his
John
daughter.
Silver thing.
You're an idiot. But you know what I'm talking about. She comes, she's with him for 2 years. She wants 200 million of his 400 million.
What?
Let's
Yeah.
get the fuck
Hell
out.
no.
And then she had the audacity to say,
Like, go on, girl, go on, girl.
She got 25 million. Ignore her. She got 25 million. And she had the audacity to say, 25 million. That means now my daughter's going to have to travel in normal economy. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
my
Heather
God.
Mills.
That's the
Heather
one.
Mills.
Heather
Heather
Mills.
Mills. There you go.
Bitch.
So when you're talking about something like that, 2 years, you can't show me how this 400 million was accumulated. Some of this money is even from
his wife, Linda McCartney.
Linda McCartney. And you're talking about you want 200 million.
Nah.
So,
She's
listen,
trying to say, but what's she trying to say? Because he's worth. No, this is what he's worth about 600 million. And she thought, I'm going to ask for 200 million because I'm entitled to 50%. And that's not 50%. I could ask for 300 million, but I'm being reasonable asking for 200 million. Alright, that's what she tried to do. And she still does, mate, for 4 years. She's still got 25 mil.
she got 25 mil for 2 or 3 years. 4 years tops. 25 mil. I married man for, he can't touch me, but I'm marrying for 25 mil.
Chuck
Simple.
and Larry thing, you know what I mean?
There you
But
go.
guys are just as, I'm sorry, guys are just as bad. Look at what's going on with Mary J. Blige and her ex-husband. This Egypt wants her to pay for his parents,
Oh yeah. Nah, he's
his
taking the
kids
mick.
who are not hers. Like, he wants her to pay for all sorts of bullshit. And I don't know what kind of lawyer she's
Make her
got.
pay, man.
You can't make her pay for the suffering of all other men.
I love Mary J, but still, just
Nah.
because of what happens to other men, she must feel, innit?
You know, shut up, Vic.
We'll move
Look,
on.
me personally, if I'm being honest, I just feel like when people get divorced, you go your way, I go my way.
Yeah.
What if we put in together,
Take out,
we can
leave.
split,
Yeah.
split up and go your way. That's it. I'm definitely getting a prenup
brilliant.
because
Go
no
and
bitch
teach
is
other
coming to
women
take
that.
my money. No, listen, no. If they go and get that money from that guy, good for them. But I'm just saying, me personally.
She goes, we'll give him back to it, and she goes, yeah. No, I think we should all be equal in that.
Why
Get it.
Me too.
We're definitely moving on now.
Oh, God.
Amazon quickly. It's open supermarket, no checkouts, no self checkout, no tills,
Is it free?
no nothing. You walk in, you take. The cameras see what you take and what you put in your basket.
You got to scan your phone when you come in.
Yeah, you got to
Oh.
say I'm here, and then they see the cameras see
what you're taking.
what you're taking, and then you're billed for it later on. So far, people have been tweeting and messaging saying, "Yo, I didn't get charged for this yogurt. Like, what does this mean? Am I a thief? Like, what happened?" And Amazon were tweeting back saying, "Don't worry about it. It's on us." It's like, your shit's broken.
You know what I
Your shit's
mean?
broken. I'm looking to go and see getting up on iPads.
They get
see
a
what
nickname to the
happens.
store, innit? What's it called? Just walk out.
Yeah, it's mad. But
I cannot stop.
look at this one.
Exactly.
Try to see where the cameras are. Them one. So I come with that. What's them thing? Poncho, you know?
Oh, hold on. What if you come with a burner phone? Right, rigged to a fake account. You come in.
Typical
take-
Nigerian.
You see it straight away.
Nigerian chat.
Straight away.
Didn't ask where the
Wow,
store
yeah,
was.
for real.
Didn't ask what they sell. The man went straight to the burner phone. You know, so Nigerian,
Fake
man.
account, boy.
Look at, he's making plans. Look, he's calling people now, innit?
Freddie Umbalangbe. That is my name.
Jesus Christ.
Let me in.
But there are like 500 cameras in this store or whatever. Some madness
wow.
of cameras watching. That's how they see who you are, analyze you, see everything that goes into your basket. Imagine this: the cameras scan everything that goes into your basket. That shows you the detail of the camera.
Minority Report shit going on.
Yeah,
This is Skynet, mate. You think
Yeah.
you think that's what it's doing? It's scanning what's scanning your basket. You're there. It's really scanning your yard.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Your one.
identifying what you're doing. It knows what's happening, mate.
What things in your
Exactly.
bed.
In your search history. You know what I mean? Everything, mate. This is the beginning of the end. I'm telling you.
I'm never going there. I'm never going there, man.
I won't go there.
But it's been
I
open.
won't even let you in.
It's been operating since December 2000. December 2016, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In America, only in America,
I
it's
think
like
been
two-
tried it.
America's
Yeah.
hell, you know that.
I'm
Because
gonna
they
try it
also
next
they
time
look
I
at
go.
it's like everything is geared towards getting rid of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like so now, if you have that, you'll probably have 2 staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they're doing it. So they've got, like, for example, like nowadays you've got the self-service tills, isn't it? So that's the beginning. But this is obviously steps ahead. And the only like I said, you have maybe 2 members of staff because you can purchase anything, just take it. The only thing they need to keep the people there for in terms
Stocking.
of alcohol,
Oh yeah,
because you need to identification in it.
But you also have to stock up. That's about
Yeah.
it. And even then, have you seen those mad Android things that they've got in the Amazon
Yeah.
warehouses and that?
Skynet, mate. I'm telling
It's
you.
mad. It's mad. To our toilet of the week. So there's a feminist campaign to get rid of walk-on girls at darts events and target other sporting events like boxing. So the reason why it's toilet of the week for me is because it's one thing to be annoyed and be upset with people objectifying women. That's not a problem. Darts women don't wear bikinis. They don't wear any, even in the boxing, the girls wear sports bra, whatever it is, or matching and pants, whatever it is. But especially in the darts, the women wear dresses,
Yeah.
full evening gown dresses, and all they do is walk next to the darts person when they walks in, and then they go about their business.
Yep.
What is so objectifying and what is so... And the women who are doing it, so they've been on TV this week, and they're pissed because they're like, "Why are you getting rid of us?" Like, I'm a grown woman. She's 29. I'm 30. I get to choose my outfit. We speak to the sponsors. We go out. We think we look nice and pretty and glamorous. That's our choice. We go back to our day jobs.
Yeah.
What is the how is that offensive to anyone? What is it now that people say, it's objectifying women? Half the time you still don't even notice them. You're just laughing at the fat darts player coming out. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah. Let me tell you what the problem is, Merv.
One-to-one, you know.
Let me tell you what the problem is. This because it's Me Too stuff that's going on. Everyone's just jumping on the bandwagon. Now these feminists are coming out with all this bullshit. These girls are getting paid. They're happy in their job. There's nothing wrong with that. If they go, these feminist women are just jealous because they won't ever get booked for these kind of jobs.
Boom.
So, so stop hating. The girls are getting
Shots
paid.
fired.
They're not complaining. So shut up, move on, find another cause. Next.
God bless you. Just to add as well, one thing I always wondered about this, when these feminists come out and do this, etc. I'm not against feminists, but do they ever speak to the women? So the darts women that do it, do they speak
No,
to them and ask
no.
them?
No. And the reason why I say that is watching what's it called? This Britain, whatever it's
Oh,
called.
yeah, This
Good Morning
Morning
Britain, or whatever
Britain.
it's called. Watching that this morning, the feminist was telling the 2 women who do it, Oh, I feel sorry for you that you don't know that you're being objectified. You don't know you're being used. But in essence, she was arguing with the two girls, telling them that they don't know what's going on.
So
big women, they're not like no 17-year-old girls.
But that in itself is degrading the woman. So you're telling a woman
she has no
that she has no brain and realizing that she's her own woman. She's decided. So basically, you're going to go to the point of darts. Then you go to boxing because they walk around in bikini, scanty clad bikinis,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
and then they'll move on. It'll go to beach volleyball. They can't perform in that. They've got to wear a full,
hijabs.
You know what I mean?
Hijabs
Then
now.
you'll go to the swimming. You can't be in a swimsuit because you know what, it's exposing too much. So what? You know what? You women that are not feminists, I suggest you have a word with the feminists. Yeah. Just put them in their place because they're looking contradictory and it's stupid as well.
Yeah.
The woman just walks darts. They're just walking up.
Yeah.
They looked at the job description and said, you know what, I can do this.
Yeah.
They're walking up.
Right.
And you know what?
paid a
They
lot
get paid
to
to
do
do
it.
it. I'm on the stage for 27 seconds.
Yeah.
That's it. I walk back, cha-ching. And I've got this feminist coming in saying that I'm being objectified. How? I don't get it. So, you know what? It's women like that, yeah, that frustrate the fuck out of me, yeah. I love women, trust me. You guys are an amazing species, trust me. But you got to talk to your feminist crew because they're letting you down, yeah. They're really letting you down, and I don't want that to happen.
Look, my
Seriously
thing is as well. Sorry to interrupt, but everybody should know their talent. Okay, and some people don't have GCSEs and stuff, and they know they're just good looking. So they look at the job description and go, I can just about do this.
Thank you.
So, and if you're happy to do it, great, do it. Maybe you can't do any other job. So, great, do it. Everyone else should mind their own stink business. That's it.
Yeah. I mean...
I think you should do it.
I'm not dignifying that with
You said you went to one event, they were pinching your bum, put it on the stage.
Shots fired over shots fired.
Anyway, I'd like to apologise to people who are listening. The conductor must. She's alive mainly because we share the same blood. Otherwise, I'd have euthanized her. But that being said, right? Nah.
He's all contemplating it. He's like, maybe I should go for it.
Yeah. They're talking about this president's ball thing. Right? You go back to that. Now, what is their working environment at darts? Is anybody gripsing them up?
Nope.
No.
Is Phil the Power Taylor showing them his willy? Or what's left of it after all them pints? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? No. You walk on in your lovely dress, you walk off. Right? Everybody else who's pissed out of their head, women in the crowd pissed out of their head, everyone's pissed at the thing. Nobody really cares.
They don't even acknowledge women.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. No one even sees the women.
Exactly. Right? Now, I'm tired of these chicks. Who most of them you see them, they're in a dark room with wearing a ski mask, and the camera's like just pointing at
And then
them.
the voice is muffled, isn't it?
Voice distortion unit. Right? Either that or you see them in the studio today. Let's be honest, Merv. What was she? She like Mo from Simpsons, didn't she?
I'm not convinced.
Right?
The looks are irrelevant. The looks are irrelevant. I mean, they're not.
The looks are not irrelevant.
But what I'm saying
you know
is,
why? Because a lot of this stuff comes from how they feel, right? They feel like they've been, marginalised, or like what my sister said. A lot of it stems from jealousy and you're being objectified. How comes the women who are doing it they're never the ones who feel objectified? Well, how comes they don't complain about it? Because and it's not just to do with looks, because the women who were at the President's Club thing, they were good looking people as well, and they complained.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's obviously levels to it. Why is it that these people are taking umbrage on behalf of these people who are actually enjoying what they do?
Yep.
It's this whole feminism thing is meant to be about choice and equality, isn't it? So so do you want to be the ones who are oppressing your own people, basically?
Yeah.
It's not fine if men are doing it. We're going to be the ones who are going to fucking tell you what you can and can't do. That's what it seems like to me, right? I really couldn't care less who's walking me onto stage.
That's a lie.
Right?
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Most guys feel a lot more confident with flanked by good-looking women.
And I
Gives
think you
a
lot
boost.
do notice them. I think you lot do.
Of course,
if
you have a
if
look.
you took them out and you walked, you walked with the card or whatever, I'd complain.
Complain, not leave, complain. I want my money back.
Come to see the boxing, baby. This brother.
Money.
No, fuck it. You know what? Because that is, you hit on a good point. Even what you said was completely nonsense. It's actually a good point. What should we start doing? Like when there's women fights, should we have fucking guys walking around in?
But they
in
could
hot
do.
pants? That's what I'm trying to
They
say.
could do
Exactly.
but the thing is, right?
You might have to now. And then
Don't volunteer.
All the guys are crying. Listen, you're about to say I'm gonna snatch that wig off your head. You know that.
This is the problem. We have a situation whereby if people are saying there's no need for it. No, you know what? There isn't a need for it. It's just what people have done for so long.
Sex sells, innit?
Sex sells.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, if you can say to me that someone leaves the boxing and goes, "Whoa, that bird," and didn't notice the boxing, then we've got a problem.
Yeah.
If they turn up and they didn't know any sports events took place and they were only looking at the women, then you can say to me, "Oh yeah." But they're in there for like 10 seconds. Walks around for card, boxing this is.
Yeah.
Walks around the card, UFC for instance as
Yeah.
well. Goes and sits back down. The camera pans to her. There's lovely Casey from blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Shows her Twitter name.
Shows her Twitter name and all that. Then you go there. She goes off. She sees that. She's happy. She's been on TV. Her Instagram's got an extra 10,000 followers.
Exactly.
Now she's modelling for sportswear, this, that, and that.
Exactly.
And as if he said, if her skills lie, as far as she's concerned, in her looks, while she's at this age, who are you to tell her you're not allowed to use your looks to make
It's
money?
her-
Why can't she make her look?
It's
use her
her
look to make money.
choice.
It's
The
her
thing-
decision.
That's the thing. It's her. If she was forced to do it,
Yeah.
that's the next thing.
You
I
have
understand.
to apply.
Yeah, you
have
apply.
to want to do this.
You selected to do this, and you're good at it. So just, you know what I mean? She's good at it. Let her get on with it. I don't understand what
Yeah.
the problem is. Why? How is she being objectified? If it's a case of she does it, she's getting groped or whatever. That's different.
That's a different
But
story,
she, no,
obviously.
she's just walking up. She's applied for a job. She's done it. She's done it well. Paid.
But
Finished.
the darts
Yeah.
girls themselves, I say this again, they come out in full length.
Yeah.
Knee, and sometimes
Yeah.
they're coming out in some ballroom gown almost
Yeah,
like thing,
exactly.
full length. So how can I objectify a
And
fully
it wasn't always like that as well. They used to come in little what's it called him?
Yeah.
Yeah, little short,
skirts.
Yeah,
mini
yeah.
skirts and
Yeah,
stuff. So obviously they've addressed that matter and
Yeah.
said, okay then, and they've done it. So why are you removing them? And like I said, I don't get where this feminist is coming from.
Yeah.
Like I say, just because she's a minger, isn't it? That's what it is.
Anyway, I think the point we're trying to make on this toilet of the week is that everyone is entitled to make their own decisions in their lives. No one should be telling someone that you're being used for something, especially when the two women to like 29 and 30 years old. They're arguing,
What the fuck are
telling
they gonna
you.
do now?
They're arguing. They've got jobs.
No. But here's what I'm trying to say. But you don't know how much that supplements their income.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so-
you don't know. You don't know. That's what I'm saying. You don't know the exposure,
Yeah.
what that can do for
Yeah.
them. That exposure being seen on Sky Sports. Another modelling agency could be
Thank
like,
you.
Exactly.
wow, okay, she works for Sky, she's on Sky, she
Yeah.
works for Betfair, Betway, whoever it is, all the
Exactly.
sponsors and that, will hire her for this job. Makes her
Yeah.
another $2,000 there.
Yeah.
She does that, makes her another $2,000 there.
Yeah,
Next thing you
exactly.
know, she might even get a cheeky Sky presenter's job.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I'm saying. Just because in some avenues, and it's not to be dismissed, women are objectified, those are the things that we all agree that you could get rid of. Where women are being abused or taken advantage of. Not a problem.
Yeah.
If you want to fuck someone up for doing it, I'll back you, we fuck them up.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about a woman who's 29, 30 years old saying, at this age, I'm still good looking, someone's going to pay me money to walk up and down this little catwalk, in essence modelling, wearing a full length dress or a knee length dress, fully covered, and they're paying me to do this. How has she been objectified, and what is the problem with that?
And
Isn't that how Meghan Markle started? Didn't she start with
Yeah, she
doing
was
and
on
look at her now.
shows, innit? Yeah.
But look
See?
at,
Yeah.
and I go
See?
back to that
From
point.
Compton.
I said women are smart, yeah? How many of those women know in situations where they are being objectified and they just utilise it to their
Yeah.
liking? And like I said, so many have done it. Not saying it's right, but they've robbed the system. They know it's inferior to man's world. They've robbed the system, got where they wanted.
Yeah.
Good luck to them.
Who
But-
won then?
Exactly.
Exactly.
More fool us, innit, as the guys. You know what I mean? But these feminists, you know what I mean?
There's too many movements at the moment.
Oh,
for me,
it's
man.
annoying, mate.
Everyone's got something to march about. I'm sick of it.
Well,
Start breaking some kneecaps to see who's marching where.
Look, I think the Me Too movement is good, but
Yeah,
now people
yeah.
are just jumping on the
Abusing it,
bandwagon and
yeah.
taking and just, it's just getting silly
Excuse the
now.
pun, but
Relax.
now they're abusing it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's why.
I did say excuse the pun.
Excuse the pun. Yeah. But that's why those who are trying to ban are girls walking on darts, boxing, UFC, wherever it may be. That's why you're toilet of the week. On to some sport. So Marco Silva, I was away sick last week. Marco Silva was sacked by Watford. Does this not prove that when your stock is high, it's time to just jump ship and get that next job? And as a player, when that opportunity comes for you to leave the club and go to that bigger club, it's time for you to go and do it, because you don't know what's around the corner. Prime example, you refuse this offer from Everton. No, they can't talk to him. 10 games later, things haven't been right since you got offered that job. Now you're sacked. So we talk about the loyalty. Well, where was the loyalty? What?
Yeah.
You forced him to stay, so now he has to see out the job, and then you sack him.
There's no loyalty in football, and I think you're right. It's like when your stock is high, you got to move on. And I think with regards to Watford, and I think it depends on the club as well, because with Watford, it's a case of this is their forte now. They keep a manager for a short amount of time and then move on. So obviously Marco Silva shot himself in the foot when Everton offered him the possibility to chat. So obviously he's really given the intention that he's not going to be... He's looking ahead. But I think what also shot him in the foot is he spoke to Everton, didn't go, but then the performances dipped.
Yeah.
So obviously Watford are thinking, well, why are we going to invest in this guy if he's not performing? And he was planning, if the Everton chats went well, he would have gone. So obviously they got to cover themselves. So I understand why Watford did what they've done, and they've been doing it already. They rotate their managers quite frequently.
Exactly. So why all of a sudden is it now like? So it's fine. It's fine for you to be sacking X, Y, Z managers or moving people on at your whim, but all of a sudden someone else wants to move. You're talking about loyalty.
And the fact that when they sacked him, they had the manager in what, 24, 40 hours, ready and waiting.
Yeah. So there's no such thing as loyalty. It's like, it's a dog eat dog world. Whoever bites first, that's it. Because I feel sorry for Marco Silva in a way, but I still think he's a decent manager. I think if he's got the right squad, the right team, he'll perform. But I think he'll be in back in management soon anyway.
So he'll have a job soon.
Yeah.
But it's just that the job that we thought, we're always looking at him for getting that job. We thought at one point it might be Arsenal, depending on what happens. We talked about, I wonder what happened if Wenger did leave, blah, blah, blah. Everton, with some money to spend, with some better players, if he brought them in, it would have been interesting to see what he did.
Definitely.
But obviously, he will get another job.
Oh, yeah, for real.
Soon enough. And then obviously, but it's just the fact that it's very interesting to see how clubs, fans, when managers leave, when players leave, how annoyed and upset they get.
Yep.
But when they're treated a certain way, it's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When fans want a manager sacked, do they go, oh, it's time for you to go? Banners unfurling, name calling, people behind the dugout, all that kind of stuff. They forget that. The Bristol City manager had death threats because they got tucked in so badly when he first took over. Now third in the league, in the championship, when they should be getting relegated.
Up his arse.
Now they love him. Beat Man United. All of a sudden he's the greatest manager ever. It's the hypocrisy. You got death threats.
Wow.
Because you were losing football matches.
Yeah. But I think the funny thing as well is two things I always wondered about. I know it probably can't happen, but the same way you got the two transfer markets with players, summer and winter. I always wondered if for managers, if they have contracts where they can't be sacked until those transfer markets. So, for example, if you sign if it's, say, for example, a running year contract, so you've got at least a year. So, even if you're performing, you cannot sack the manager.
I don't think anyone would have that.
Yeah,
I think the penalty would be the thing that would happen.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be, I can't sack you, but if you did sack me, I want the full term of my contract or whatever it is, that kind of thing.
Non-negotiable.
But another thing as well, because I was reading a survey as well, they were working out on average, every time a club sacks a manager, it's almost a guaranteed 6 points extra from the new manager coming in.
The initial impetus that comes in.
And that 6 points could help in terms of relegation.
Yeah, keeping them up.
Keeping them up. So I can see the weighing on that as well. But yeah, I said, for me, there's no such thing as loyalty in the game anymore. So it doesn't surprise me. Like, contracts are just a joke now. Because I said, how long was Marco Silva's contract? I think it was a 3-year contract or something.
3-year contract.
And he's gone within the first year.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
It's
Pure
nonsense,
man.
VAR.
VAR.
Video referee,
Video
basically.
assistant referee,
Yeah. I mean, basically.
Really?
We got video. Yeah. So now they've started, like rugby and cricket and tennis and whatever else. They've got this new system now. But initially, for those who watched the Chelsea Norwich game, didn't work that well. There's a couple of ones where you're like, that's a pen. That looks like a pen to me. You know, I don't know what's going on there. And it wasn't, he didn't go and look at the screen. He just listened to the other ref, which means the other ref must have told him, or did we go look on one? I think he might have gone and looked on the...
he looked at one for time.
What's his name? My man looks like you. Villian, yeah. He went and looked at the Villian one. but then not the other one. But the fact was, they were wrong decisions.
Yeah.
In the Liverpool game, they were perfect. They were all on point. All the decisions were correct. But the problem was, it's taking 3-4 minutes to go and get a decision. Man, I said hamstrings are pinging because man is standing around in the
That
cold.
was a load of nonsense, man.
Yeah, it's an excuse, but it's also true. It's happened, you know. But at the same time, if someone got a head injury, Steven Gerrard said, if someone got a head injury, and you're down there and it's 10 minutes because it's a serious injury or leg break or whatever, you're down for 10 minutes. What are you going to say then? At the end of the day, you're supposed to keep yourself ticking. You're a professional footballer. You're supposed to keep yourself moving, keep stretching, keep warm. So, you know, but I think the time, if they can find a way, maybe, like our friend in America said recently in our group, that you get 2 referrals like in sports, 1 in each or 2 in each half. So that way, that's the maximum what could happen.
Or put it on the big screen so the fans can see what's going on, like in cricket.
Well, that's that's the other outcome, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it
that's the initial decision.
It keeps everyone involved.
Yeah, at least people know what's going on. But the problem is, most clubs, or not most clubs, many clubs don't have a big screen.
Yeah, Premier League clubs do.
I think.
Not all of them.
No, but for me, there's a couple of things for it. One, because it's a trial, so it's going to be, it's going to take time.
Yeah,
I think you're going to need at least 1 or 2 seasons, because the referees that are using it, they're getting used to it. So it's a case of, for the whole point of it was supposed to take the pressure off the referee. But for me, what I don't understand from it is, if it's VAR, I thought you have someone watching the video. So basically, you've got the ref on the pitch and another ref watching it.
But they do have that.
Yeah, but there's sometimes with the actual ref is coming over to the screen.
Well, what they're saying is that the referee, so he's not making the decision.
Yeah.
So what we would need to speed it up is for that referee in the van to make the decision. But
then,
what's happening is, the way they've done it is, because they don't want to undermine the referees who are on the pitch, they're saying what we want you to do is...
the referee will make the final decision.
Yeah, because, and it's true, the referee in the van might go, you want to look at this. That's what he says.
Yeah.
But one in the van might go, that's a definite penalty. But even the referee on the pitch, when he sees it again, he'll be like, I wouldn't give that.
Yeah.
So because those decisions are often subjective, they're saying we can't really do it that way, because if he in the van says it's not, and then someone later on finds out the referee on the pitch said, I wouldn't have given it still.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. So they need to come to some sort of... It's got to be clear and precise, because the whole point, like I said, they bring this in to take the pressure off the ref, but it seems like it's putting more pressure. Because another thing as well, when they go and watch the VAR, the video, you've got some where they'll go and they're okay to watch. You'll get some where they go and they're getting enclosed by the players.
Well, not only that, you can stop the players because you can book and whatever else. Players.
Yeah, but still, it should.
If it's in the the Liverpool game, where it was right in the dugout there, in between the 2 dugouts, the managers are there.
That's what I'm saying.
Trying to get a look. You know, assistant coach is standing up trying to go.
And that's what I'm saying. That shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like that, because at the end of the day, it should be a fact of the referee's got to think clearly and say, right, not be influenced by anyone. Because if they are in one game, then you go to another ground, it's a complete different setup. Therefore, it's not consistent. And
that's where the problem is.
And that's another problem.
Where do you put it?
Yeah. So that's another thing. That's what I say. It's got to be a proper trial to crank out all these things, because it's going to carry on. There's going to be these nooks and crannies, because the games are different. You talk about American football. It's more consistent. You've got the big screen, the referee's there, he's mic'd up, the guy there, etc.
Problem is, all those sports are stopped.
Yeah, they start games. That's done. That's what I'm saying.
Take whatever.
Yeah, so it's easier for the flow. Yeah. So with football, again, it's now we're talking about, instead of talking was that a penalty, we're talking about VAR in terms of how the ref was looking at the screen. How come he didn't do this? Why didn't he do that sort of thing? So it's going to take time. Personally, I don't think it's going to work. I think personally it's because the game flows how it does for football. It's not a stop-start sport. It just flows. And because not all grounds are the same, and like you're saying, even when, for example, it goes to a VAR moment, the crowd don't know what's happening. Me personally, I just thought if the same way the linesman puts the flag up for a substitution, they can put up like a different coloured flag to signify that, okay, we're now doing a VAR moment, so everyone knows. That's one example. But there's so many things, I think, there's too many gaps in people talking about opinions and the dive-in and simulation, did it touch? I've always been a fan of just based on the fact. If it goes over the line, it's a goal, you just know straight off fact. When you talk about is it a penalty, it's like even that you're saying
it's still subjective.
It's subjective.
You see it on a Saturday. Ian Wright will argue for Alan Shearer, Gary Lineker.
And Shearer says it all the time. He said it's opinion. He goes, do you think it's a penalty? No. But even if we look at the video, we still can't. It's still not a fact because it's interpretation of how it happened. Yeah. So for me, that's why I think going forward, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it's going to work. I think I'm only one for one is standard fact. Does it go over the line or not? Yes or no? Was it offside? Yes or no? That is it for me. The rest of all that other stuff is just nonsensical.
I think the good stuff to use will be the red cards
Yeah.
being rescinded and stuff like that.
Yeah,
okay.
and like the wrong person, I've got
Yeah,
the wrong
wrong
person,
idea,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But even a foul, some referees will say that's a rattle, play on. And he'll see the replay and go, look, he's won the ball there.
Yeah, exactly.
And another ref will be like, straight yellow, done.
Yeah.
So those are the things that you like, you just got to move on from those and not give him. Offside, I mean, we already got the goal to line technology anyway, which says whether it's crossed the line or not. So that's fine. That's instant as well. It's just beep on the watch. Done.
Yes.
The offside, to check, I don't see any problem with checking a goal every time it goes in.
What do you mean?
Because that's what they, in the FA Cup games, that's what they do. When there's a goal, let me see that, check it. Okay, it's cool. There was no offside, there was no whatever.
Okay.
You might not even know, you might be celebrating and the referee could just be like,
Bring it back.
actually, he was offside.
Yeah.
So if that's how they want to do it, but to say that every time someone appeals for a penalty, Jim, give me that in the van.
Yeah.
No,
I might want to check it. Then he jogs over to the. He jogs over to the halfway line. Yeah. Well, right, let me see it. Can you rewind that again? Go back. Have you got that on the left camera? Let me see the left camera.
Exactly.
No. Have you got that 360 one? Yeah, that's the one above the head. 2 minutes later.
Yeah, that was another bit as well because there was I can't remember what game it was where they had an incident. The referee saw it from his angle in the VAR, but in the van they were looking at a complete different angle, and the referee didn't see that angle, but he was communicating with him, but they're both looking at two different angles.
That's what I'm saying.
As they couldn't agree.
You can't work that. In cricket, cricket's just, again, a stop-start sport. That literally every ball is stop, start, done. With cricket, you've got the referee actually makes the decision. The other referee makes the decision, video ref. So that's the case of, he looks at it, he goes, he says to the camera guy, can I have the left angle?
Yeah.
Can I have the right angle? Now can I see behind the stumps? Not out. Or I don't think I've got it sufficient to overturn your original decision.
Yeah.
So on-field referee's decision stands.
Cool.
But that still takes too long for the sport that we have.
Yes.
That's the annoying thing. So I don't know. Going forward, it'll be interesting, but I don't think it's going away the way they.
No, it won't go away. I think you have to get 1 or 2 full seasons so everyone get used to it, and then crank out these nooks and crannies. But
that's it. The Sanchez deal is completed. He's made his move. Does anyone think it's a bad move?
Bad move?
I shouldn't say a bad move. Does anyone see any losers in this apart from Arsenal? Man United got a top player. Sanchez earns 350 grand a week after tax.
I think we've lost a quality player. Yeah, but at the same time, we've also lost, harsh words, but a troublemaker as well. Because obviously he set a precedent in the dressing room and the vibe. But in the long term, it's typical Arsenal. It's another top quality player we've lost.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is he a troublemaker or is he a winner? Because I don't think they're the same thing. And the reason why I say that is, yeah, we know how people are saying how he behaved. But imagine that you're playing for a team. You're the best player in the team. It's not debatable. You don't care because you're never winning anything. You can't see you're winning anything. And you don't bring in any better players. And they're relying on you. Yet still you get criticism from the fans. Even though you're the best player week in, week out. When you run, because for the first 2.5 years, that geezer done everything. Score goals, made goals. So then, when it comes to it, you say, you know what, it's time for me to go, because I ain't going to win nothing anymore. They're not even looking to give me the money I want, which is also an issue. Your head's not there, but you're still the best. That's the bit that really makes me laugh. Despite that lack of effort, he was still the best player.
And I get what you mean. I said troublemaker from an Arsenal point of view.
No, yeah, of course.
From my point of view, I agree with you. I don't see him as a troublemaker. I see him as someone, like I said, he's a winner. He's come from Barcelona. He's played at Udinese. The guy's always played that way. So why all of a sudden he's come to Arsenal and his attitude changed? No. When I see someone sulking on the pitch or whatever, for me it's not troublemaker. The guy wants to win. Henri done it all the time.
Yep.
When he was there, he didn't get the pass right or whatever. People said he was winding up the youngsters. No, he wants to win. He wants the best. And it stands out for Sanchez because there's no one else on the pitch like him. We haven't got other winners. Like I said, I cannot imagine that when we lose a game, Arsenal, again we lost today 3-1 to Swansea, surprise, surprise, that anyone in the change room is bollocking anyone, saying, you know what the fuck was that? I don't imagine it. So I can understand Sanchez's frustration. He wants to win. He's working his arse off. If he were just sulking and throwing his arms up and not doing anything on the pitch, then I'd be like, okay, yeah. But the guy's working his socks off every game, putting the team along, but he's not. He's looking back and thinking, well, who else is coming with me? So I understand that. But you said about, was it a bad deal? I think, or who got the better part of the deal? I think Man U got the better part of the deal because they've got a good quality player. In terms of the money, there's no point talking about that because it's it is what it is in this market. But we got Mkhitaryan, good player, but yeah, I think we lost that in that end because he's a good quality player, but it's our own fault because Wenger's there, the culture of Arsenal, so it's just going to carry on.
I don't know. I think the deal quite evens out, to be honest, because Sanchez wanted to go. He was going.
Yeah.
No matter what, he was going. And if he stayed to the summer, he goes, and then you've still got to bring a player in. But what's happened is he's gone, and you've got a player that you haven't, that's just been given to you basically as well. So there's that, and it's a top quality player who probably will get in most teams in the league on his day, probably all the teams, right? So, I mean, it's a fresh start. To top it off, you supplement that with bringing in Aubameyang and maybe a couple of other people as well. So I think, for me personally, I think the deal evens out. Sanchez he's a top player, and he's worth a certain amount of points. But depending on what Arsenal do from this, like, I mean, getting Mkhitaryan has saved them. You'd have to go out and buy a player, and in this market, you're seeing that people are coming out with dumb prices.
Yeah.
So I think in a way it sort of levels off.
Yeah, but obviously, like I said, he's still one of the top players in the league. Full stop.
Fact. Yeah.
That's all there is to it. So for them, it's a top signing. They got a player, and he will be on it for them. Even the other day, I know they played. Who was it they played the other day? Yeovil. Nothing great, but just little things he was doing. You're like, even in this game, the other Man United players aren't really standing out. They're doing what they need to do, but he's just doing little things. You're like, this guy's quality. He's stand out, which Arsenal are going to miss. Obviously, they've got a good player, possibly with Aubameyang, with Mkhitaryan signing, but Aubameyang potentially signing.
Yep.
What's the fucking deal with Sanchez and that piano as well for his unveiling?
I have no idea.
All of a sudden, this geezer's there like fucking Liberace on a piano. Mate, you play football. you know what I mean? I want to see you out doing kick-ups. Like,
this is a new thing, though.
Not BBC last night at the proms with Alexis Sanchez.
You've seen the new thing.
What
You've seen the new when the match comes in and the way they walk up to the. They would have their little promo bit where they walk up, do some pose. You got man doing all kinds of stuff in there. It's like, what is going on?
Mate, those poses are jokes, mate.
We said our Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan. The defence, though.
I said to you guys already, they're talking about Aubameyang, I was like, yes, it didn't excite me. He's a good player, it'll be a good signing, but that's not what the problem is. We need a holding midfielder, we need maybe another defender, and he hasn't addressed it. And today against Swansea, I haven't even watched the game, but you just know, you can't go 1-0 against Swansea and lose 3-1. So this is going to be the problem. I don't know if he's trying to go the old, the Brazilian style. We just attack, score more than you, but it ain't going to work. So even though if we do sign Aubameyang and, if we do get another signing, I think he's looking to get, he said he's trying to get another player, but you never know with Wenger. But yeah, I'm not impressed. We need a holding midfielder. We need to sort of another defender, but it won't happen. So I think Aubameyang's probably sitting in the training room now thinking, do I sign this contract or not?
He probably is. Looking at that Swansea game thinking, because when we're talking about troublemakers, he's known to be one. So he could come there and within 6 months be like, oh, fuck this. He might taking the piss. I didn't come here for this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially we finish 5th and next, no Champions League.
No Champions League. And he's used to Champions League. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Quickly on Liverpool. I mean, they won today.
Yay.
I mean, they won.
But the good thing is Arsenal lost.
Yeah.
Yay!
There's a few wankers in our WhatsApp groups. Do you know what I mean? Just been
talking shit in the last couple of days, and all of a sudden, what's
of
going on, fellas? Talking to me, Shane.
MIA now.
Liverpool. I'm just saying, right? From a technical perspective, transfer technical perspective, you have lost in this. Like, Liverpool are going to be if we don't sign anybody, we shall end the window weaker as a squad than we did entering it.
Yeah.
Man United have strengthened. Man City have strengthened by signing players. Arsenal was strengthened in their own way by signing players. Tottenham are signing players. These are the teams that are all around us, right? So if we were fourth in the table when we had Coutinho, right, and we've lost him to Barcelona for 140 something million, fair enough, good money. And Daniel Sturridge, who was these were two key men when we went for the title. Danny Sturridge ain't injured, but he's still got quality, right? You can turn to him as an option, but now he's gone on loan to West Brom, so we're going to be ending the window weaker than we went into it, and everyone around us is stronger.
Yeah.
So let's, you know,
well-
if he's happy with that's not the way I'd go with it. Because when I see, I can't go into Windows, I can't come out of Windows weaker than before I went in it, and everyone else is strengthened. You know what happens when that happens? Teams go past you. That should be what happens. But
I think with the Coutinho thing, definitely. Sturridge, nah, hasn't played the game in 2 months or whatever it is.
agreed. But
injured.
let's say two or three. Let's say Firmino, Ings, and Solanke get random knocks and injuries. Then what? You could turn to him. I'm just saying, he's an option.
But then so would he. You know that.
Yeah. I know.
If they fall over, he breaks a leg. That's the thing. All these years of he's gonna come back. He's got every time he comes back, he's a yard slower than when he left.
Yeah.
Remember the time he got upset because man said his pace on FIFA was
72 or
something like that, and he's
that
angry.
was
Like,
generous.
him and Sterling were the only people who actually thought he's got pace.
I haven't seen Daniel Sturridge sprint since 2013.
Yeah. Was it 13? There was a year
I don't know.
the one we tried to win the league. Yeah, that year, innit? To finish, our last predictions for where we think top four will be at this stage of the season. Transfer window closing. Who do you think the top four will be, Vic?
Man City will win the league.
Yeah.
Man United, Chelsea. I think Tottenham will pass us.
Mr. H?
Yeah, I got Arsenal win the league. Wait, sorry. Let me put down this crack cocaine. So, hey, Man City to win the league. I've got a funny feeling. Yeah, well, nah, because Sanchez is there. Yeah, so Man U second. I've got a funny feeling Chelsea will flop, and I think Liverpool. No, sorry, Man City, Man U, Tottenham.
There it is.
And I've got a funny feeling Liverpool will finish fourth. I just got a funny feeling Chelsea will, because they haven't got the squad, and Arsenal just being Arsenal, just flop. All this Aubameyang will still finish fucking fifth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd probably... Obviously, Man City are going to win the league. It'd be madness if they didn't. Man United second. Chelsea and Liverpool. That's what I'm going to go with.
You think Tottenham won't make the top four?
You know what it is? They signed Moura, so like Lucas Moura could make a big difference because he's a top player. But with Tottenham again, they do have that mentality of when the pressure's put on them, when have they ever come through in the last how many years? And now the pressure isn't to win the league and be challenging, which it has been for the last 2 years. It's now to finish in the top four again. And when they're put under pressure, they don't do well. So it'll be interesting to see.
I think if
It's
Harold,
not impossible. It's not impossible.
Yeah.
I think if Harold Kane stays fit,
That's it for me.
that's
yeah.
it.
What
They
happens if he
will.
don't?
If he don't finish, if Harry Kane gets injured, then there's a case. But if he stays fit, he's just gonna bludgeon his way
Yeah.
through everyone's defence, mate. No one can stop him.
That's us for the predictions. That's also us for another episode of The Rival Show. So, the man on my left.
It's me, the slick man, the legend of the Falls.
The Fools.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, listen, I'm off air, I'm shanking people up. I'm letting them know. Yeah, it's me, the slick man, legendary slick. Get at me on Twitter, at Vic Ibua Slick. That's it.
On his left.
Queen P, aka If you like what you heard, you can check me out on my podcast with my girls. It's 3PMS Ladies. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on IG. You can email us also at 3pmsladies@gmail.com.
And on her left.
Can't say me never did a one. All of me tell ya. Hey.
I don't know what that was. What the hell?
You're listening to the solid undertones of Mr. H, aka Buju Banter. Later.
Mr. MJ, we're out.
Listen